Christmas. Today I'm going to be making lamb, a roasted leg of lamb with vegetables, roasted vegetables also. Lamb is my favorite dish to cook. Lamb is sensational, and today I'm going to show you how to roast a perfect leg of lamb. In addition, we'll have vegetables cooked and roasted in olive oil and garlic, and we're going to put all kinds of greens. Yes, so let's do this for a great Christmas Day dinner. Roasted lamb and vegetables. Delicioso. I turn the oven at broil or over 500 degrees to first roast the lamb leg. So the first thing that I'm going to do is prepare the lamb leg. I'm going to turn it on this side, and I'm going to be making cuts on the fat part of the lamb. Just a few cuts, and cross hash it a little bit, and I'm going to be inserting rosemary leaves. Yes, very, very flavorful. There we go. Now I'm going to turn it on the other side, and I'm going to start puncturing holes in the lamb to insert garlic. I'm going to be placing about 6 garlic cloves into this lamb. You can peel them. I like to just put the whole clove in there. Lamb is very tender, so you can just go at it. Put them all over the meat like this, and I'm going to put it aside so we can make the marinade. To make the marinade is very simple. I'm going to use the juice of 1 lime. Squeeze it until all the juice comes out. And we're going to be adding other ingredients to this simple marinade. I love the smell of lime juice, or the smell of any food. Let me get a spoon. I have dry oregano, and I'm going to use about 1 teaspoon of oregano and half spoon of black pepper. I'm using this big spoon, but it's just to get it. I'm not putting a big whole spoon. I'm just portioning it to a teaspoon size, and I'm using about half of black pepper. And sea salt, the indispensable cooking ingredient. Sea salt, about 1 spoon, and olive oil, the oil for the human heart, about 2 ounces of olive oil. And now I'm going to make it and blend it. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to blend it a lot. Just blend it so everything is here. And I'm going to be adding to this a couple leaves of rosemary. There we are. Just a few. pieces of rosemary here. So we go ahead and just throw them in there like that. Now I'm going to put this on the lamb. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit on the bottom, like that on the sides. Now I'm gonna put it all over. This is a very, very strong, very rich marinade. You don't have to leave it overnight or a few hours. Just go ahead and do this before you cooking the lamb, you know, while the oven is being prepared. So it's right there. Oh my God, this is very good. And I am going to place this on my oven rack, oven pan to broil it at 500 degrees on all sides, and then we'll cook it slow for about 3 hours at I would say about 350 degrees to have the most delicious Christmas Day dinner, roasted lamb with vegetables, roasted vegetables. Yes. Now it's time to place it on the oven rack carefully, and I'm going to sit it here and pour all this flavor, all this marinade on top, just so it will just drip down the pan. Delicious. And now I'm going to the oven. The oven is set up on the broil setting, and I'm gonna set the rack high because I want this to broil. I want them to burn, to roast at 500 degrees. Place it on the center, and I will broil it, I will say between 15 to 20 minutes until I see that the meat is getting broiled, cooked, roasted. And then we'll go ahead and change the temperature and cook it for about 3 hours for medium rare at 350 degrees. While this is broiling, I will be preparing the rest of our holiday meal. Now that the roast is finished broiling on all sides, looks beautiful. And it's time to, I've already lowered the oven to 350 and I put it on bake. So now I'm gonna cook this roast, slowly cook it for 3 hours. And then we'll be ready to enjoy roasted lamb leg with vegetables for a great holiday meal. There we go, center rack, and 3 hours. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead, take a break, eat a little, come back and make the vegetables. The roast is in the oven. The lamb leg is cooking perfect. It's perfectly roasted. Still has about an hour or two to go, so I'm going to prepare the vegetables. For the vegetables, I have a great assortment. I have white potatoes, I have carrots, parsnips, onions, garlic of course, tomatoes, and an assortment of powerful greens. I love greens. We have baby spinach, mizuna, chard, kale, and arugula. And I have olive oil in the pan at about 320 degrees. And the very first thing that I am going to do, I'm going to be roasting in olive oil first the hard vegetables, such as the carrots, the potatoes, and then we'll go ahead and do the soft vegetables. Oh, that sounds very, very good. That's my refrigerator alarm. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be browning these vegetables, cooking them in olive oil first to roast them a little bit. And then we're gonna be adding the garlic, the onions, beef broth. This dish that I'm making for this holiday goes to, is for me and my family, my mother, sisters, and part of the family is vegetarian, so I'm gonna make a vegetable dish. That's why I'm making this vegetable dish. By itself, this is a dish. And I'm not gonna be mixing the lamb with this, so I'm not gonna be putting the lamb's juices from the roasting into the vegetables. That's for another meal. So I'm gonna be roasting this medley, this cornucopia of vegetables for the next 5-10 minutes. Now that the potatoes and the carrots and the parsnips are browned or grilled in this olive oil, I'm gonna make room right on the middle. This looks very good. I wish you'd be here to see it, to smell it, to taste it. This is very good. I'm going to be adding the onions right on the middle. And I'm gonna go ahead and separate them a little bit. And now I'm gonna be adding the garlic. I have 4 cloves of garlic. Now I am going to grill the garlic and the onions in a little bit more olive oil, just until the onions begin to absorb the olive oil and the garlic turns to turn a little bit golden, kind of like a blonde. Then I'm going to be adding beef broth, and we'll cook this medley of vegetables very slowly. And then we'll be adding the greens and lastly the tomatoes. Roasted leg of lamb with vegetables. Yes. I challenge you to cook this for yourself. You would like it. Now it's time to add the beef broth. The vegetable broth. And cook this very, very slow. The vegetables are perfectly cooked. I undercook them a little bit because I like them a little harder. Now I'm going to be adding about a half spoon of sea salt. And mix everything together with the sea salt like this. Very delicious. I'm gonna add a little bit more of vegetable broth. I'm gonna be adding the power greens, baby spinach, misuma, arugula, chard, kale. Oh, this is delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in there like this. And now I am going to blend them to make room for more. Wow. This is definitely a great meal to enjoy. The lamb is almost ready. Oh yes. Now I am going to add tomatoes. Just let them rest like this. And cook it in very low fire for about 5 minutes. Wow. Very good. Finally, Christmas meal, dinner, lunch is ready. It's around 12 o'clock here where I am. And after I taste, I'm going to drive down to San Diego to spend time with my mother, sister, brothers. This is delicious. Take a look at this. Vegetables, greens, tomatoes, onions, garlic, lamb, roasted lamb. And I have chipotle sauce in here for this lamb. Just to spice it a little bit. You see this? Perfect. Wow. Very, very good. Very delicious. Highly recommended. What can I tell you? This is an extraordinary meal. A mangiare de mangiare. Delicioso, sabroso, rico, suculento, suavecito, huele bonito, bien carnudito. ¿Qué más te puedo decir? Es algo delicioso. Sensational dish. Great for the holidays. And I'm having martini rosso. Salud until the next time, and I hope to see you before New Year.